You're saying, oh, that's just you. That's just your childhood. But here's what I remember. And maybe you remember this. The year 1990, 91, 92, 93. There was movies. There was music. And there was a culture. There was a cult. We had a culture. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was pop culture. But it was a culture. Remember the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh, I love the 80s.
remember the Magic?
I love good music.
And here's where I'm going. We're losing our culture. We're losing our consciousness to cyberspace because we all have our own individual stimuli now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Explain.
When you were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, the TV would come on and a band would be playing, and if you had siblings or you had like, see, I had my sisters, we gather around, we see that band, we see them playing, or we see the music video, we knew who was what. You know, we all, yeah. You don't remember?
I was poor. I never had TV.
You never watched TV?
No.
Well, shit.
I didn't watch it. I don't remember.
I mean, we had a culture. It connected us. Like, boxing connected us. UFC fights connected us. The early UFC, not now. Not now's UFC. UFC still connects us, kind of. Movies. Going to the movies was a big fucking deal. Like, a movie was like a big fucking deal. Like, when Batman came out, when Batman Returns came out, that was like, holy shit, that was like amazing. You know, Three Ninjas. Remember Three Ninjas?
Oh yeah, I love that. That used to be my favorite movie.
We went to the theaters. We saw that at the theaters. It was like fucking amazing. Like, it was like, changes your life.
Cool.
You're a kid, but you go to the movies as a family. It was a thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Every kid now is gonna have a fucking phone. Like, fucking 5-year-olds are gonna have fucking iPhones, and they're gonna be on internet. They're gonna be on looking up God knows what. They're gonna be like constant stimulation all day. There's not gonna be a culture anymore. There's not gonna be a unification. Back then, movies were a big deal. It was a big deal to make a movie. It was a big deal. Like, these little dog shit movies that are coming out, these little like jerk off Transformers, Ninja Turtles bullshit. It's a team of guys. It's a team of computer nerds creating a movie on a computer. It's not a movie. There's no actors. I mean, it was a big deal back in the day. Like, it would be like the making of Ninja Turtles, and like it would be guys in suits. Like, the guys that you had to train, you know, the guys that did Ninja Turtles back then, they wore suits and they actually did martial arts. They all knew martial arts, and they trained them. And like, the Shredder was a real actor. They used movie sets. Like, what? I just watched Ninja Turtles. It was like fucking, like a fucking 3D movie, like just going down the hill on ice. Like there was this ridiculous like I don't even know what the fuck it was. Like they were sliding down the mountain on a semi truck. Every like all the action was happening around a 3D semi truck going down the hill. All the Ninja Turtles were like sliding around the semi truck, fighting. It was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, there's no vision. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's just like, okay, we're gonna jerk off each other's wieners and suck each other off, and we're gonna make a movie and we're gonna call it Ninja Turtles. It's gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna ejaculate all this fucking Transformers shit, and yeah, you don't remember movies? Do you remember when movies were movies? Come on, remember when people used to act? They were actors.
Yeah.
Remember like an action movie was a guy and he'd be driving a car and then like they would get a stunt guy and they'd blow the fucking car up or the car would launch on a ramp. Remember it was a real car like that would blow up or it was like a real actor.
Yeah.
Sometimes I mean well, Fast and the Furious 8, it's just like a bunch of assholes in a room with computers not even filming
They don't
anything.
do their stunts?
They're not even filming anything.
No.
They're just
It's not real?
No, it's not even a real.
Driving real fast?
They're not even in a real fucking car.
What? No, you're lying. This is news to me. Are
Look,
you serious?
Some scenes, yeah, he'll drive a car down the street. Most of the racing scenes, it's just a 3D fucking car and Vin Diesel's in there. It's not even a real Vin Diesel. It's just he's just in a car.
But why?
Because Hollywood sucks now.
I mean, it's possible they could do that. They could do it real.
It's possible, but it costs money. It costs money to. It takes balls.
That makes me not even like them anymore.
It takes money. It takes balls. It takes talent. Something Hollywood doesn't have. Nobody has anymore. It takes talent. Yeah, you have to film someone driving a car down the street. If you want to have them do a power slide around the corner and it might hit a car, then you're going to have to shut down that street and you're going to have to choreograph it with you're going to listen, you're going to have to choreograph it with a team of people. You know, they're like, you know what? Let's just make a 3D LA and have a 3D car. Like, okay, Fast and the Furious. I remember, like, I don't know if it was like 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever the fuck they came out with. Fast and the Furious 6. And all I remember is, like, it showed The Rock flexing his muscles. And then the next scene, it was a preview. The next scene was, like, they were driving a car down the road and one guy jumped off the other car onto another car. Like, it was all 3D.
I thought it was real. Like, I was like, Vin Diesel's driving crazy. I thought it was real.
Well, that's because you're special.
I just don't know. You just had to
These kids don't know. They don't know the difference between a good movie and a bad. So they're all going to grow up overstimulated with all this like fictitious explosions, 3D effects. They're never gonna know what a good movie is because they never experienced it.
Yeah.
So this commercial is like a 3D Vin Diesel flying through the air. Like, what's the fucking point? Why even watch a movie if it's not even gonna be an actor?
I didn't even know that. That's why I kind of liked it, because I'm like, they're driving crazy. That's sad.
You thought they were really driving like that?
Yeah, like, I thought
Holly,
I'm like, that's
that would take balls. That's why they used to have stuntmen did that. That was a living. You get paid to drive a car and crash it. Now it's like, oh, we'll just do a 3D car and It doesn't even look real. I can tell it's 3D. It looks like shit. But they keep making these movies. And the budget's like 500 million. Bullshit. That was a $500 million movie, and the fucking car looks like a goddamn cartoon. Doesn't even look real. Sorry, I'm just getting mad here. If you're gonna spend $500 million, blow a fucking car up. Blow a real car up. Record, film it. They're like, oh, we're gonna make another movie. It's gonna just, we're just gonna film it. We're just gonna do it's all gonna be on a green screen, and it's just gonna be 3D. Yeah, oh yeah, Vin Diesel. Okay, just pretend like you're walking on a rail. Pretend like you're. Oh yeah. Nicolas Cage. Pretend like you're hanging from a rail. We'll just add the building later.
I thought that was real. Like I thought they.
Babe, you don't know the difference. So I'm saying nobody knows the difference anymore. Nobody's experienced real movies. Like nobody knows what real action looks like. They don't know what it. Okay, the guy who directed Batman, the Dark Knight movie, he kind of stayed true to the traditional, but but it's not just movies. It's just our culture is diminishing. It's just going to shit. We don't have a culture.
It's computer. Everything's computer.
Everything's computer. Everything's internet. Everything's internet. People don't even want to take the time to make a movie. Oh, let's just. Oh yeah, Fast and the Furious 12. Yeah. We're very proud of our movies. Yeah, we just masturbated to CGI and ejaculated a bunch of fucking action scenes. There's like a commercial with it's like the Hulk fighting Iron Man, and it's like a commercial saying feel the power, and it's like the Hulk, like 3D Hulk fighting a 3D Iron Man. I'm like, dude, I've seen this fucking scene like in every fucking Marvel Capcom movie ever made. It's a 3D Hulk, it's a 3D Iron Man, it's a 3D Captain America, it's a 3D Spider-Man, and it's okay, let's throw a bunch of cars at each other, let's add some rocks, and street lights are gonna fall, and it's gonna just explosions everywhere. It's like, it's not even oh dude, it's just diarrhea. It's just fucking vomit. It's diarrhea. It's not even. Sorry, I'm getting worked up. I was talking about music. So, back in the day, this isn't even that long ago. It's only like I will give you 5, 10, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I know that seems like a long time. I know that, because when I was a kid, that was 25 years ago. It wasn't that long ago, but they used to have, man, movies are just so much better. That's how they made movies for 80 years. From the 1920s up until like 1995, they made that's when they started to use.
Got lazy.
That's when they started to use. I remember when a movie called Escape from LA. Don't get me wrong. Most people say it's a crappy movie, but I loved it. I think it's a cool movie. Escape from New York, Escape from LA. Not his best movie, kind of corny. I would still watch it over any other dog shit nowadays. That was when they're like introducing CGI graphics, cutting edge technology. That was the beginning of the end.
Who wants technology?
I can just start giving you movies. Like, I will name off movies, and they'll be much more enjoyable than anything you'll see today. Like, much more enjoyable. Like, they don't even want to film nature anymore. Like, don't get me wrong. Like Lawrence of Arabia, the reason why that movie was considered, I mean, I didn't even like it that much, but it's considered such a great movie because the the technology he had at the time to go up on the mountain out in the Middle East, in the middle of fucking nowhere, and just record some of the most captivating things you'll ever see, scenery on this earth. It's picturesque. It's taking things that you're not normally going to see. Most people aren't going to be exposed to that. They're not going to see the vast desert with the vast ocean behind. You know, that's why things like that they go down in history. When you go from like 1920 up until 1994, movies were filmed in a way. They captured reality. That's what acting was. Acting, you're pretending, you're acting. You know, the movie with James Dean that made him famous, it's called Rebel Without a Cause. Filmed on the Los Angeles Observatory, a real scene. You could see Los Angeles, like you could see all of the city. I mean, they're too fucking lazy. They won't even do that.
Let's just create a digital Los Angeles, and we'll just have a panorama of it.
It's garbage, man. Movies are garbage. You know. That's why I don't. Sorry, I'm ranting. But yeah. So I lost my train of thought. Culture. Back in the early 90s is when we had culture. Even the 80s had its own culture. The 80s was awesome. You know, every kid had a Ferrari on his wall. The bands were cool. The movies were like they had a theme. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not an 80s child. I'm a early 90s child, but still like culture. There was a culture. Early 90s, there was a culture. We don't have a culture. Our culture for the past 10 years has been TMZ. Oh, Lindsay Lohan masturbated in a public bathroom. Oh, Kim Kardashian showed her butt again. Oh, Kanye West, sucked off a guy in a bathroom. Oh, Kanye West made a new album and he farted and it's called a new album. Yeah, it's a new album. He recorded his fart. Kanye West, go. Yeah, we love Kanye West. Kim Kardashian walked down the street and she bought a hot dog, and the way she ate it kind of looked kind of sexual. So that's our culture. It's been that way since the internet, 2005, started taking over people's brains. So everyone's like on Twitter, Facebook, blah blah blah, Twitter. Oh, Kanye West tweeted. He said Kanye West said that he didn't like Kim Kardashian's lipstick. So isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh my god, yeah. So today Kanye West was walking down the street and he took a dump on the sidewalk. So we went and recorded it. Oh, today LeBron James came out of his car and we saw him and he walked to the car and he just and he went to a hot dog stand and he bought a Pepsi. And I asked him, hey, are you a Pepsi fan? And he said, no, I'm a Coca-Cola fan. So yeah, TMZ exclusive. That's our culture. You used to have television shows where people would gather around to watch it, or like the news was a big event. When OJ was being chased by the police, that was like everybody was watching it. Everybody was watching it. Now everybody has their phones up their asses. Everybody has their fucking iPhone up their fucking ass. Their Samsung phone. Excuse my language.
you know. Recording everything, taking pictures of everything. Don't get me wrong. If the time is right, take a picture. You see a beautiful mountain, go ahead, take a picture. You see an eagle, take a picture. Now, you can't even go to a concert because everyone's recording the concert. For what? What are you going to record it? Where are you going to post it? Who's watching your channel? No one gives a shit. No one's watching your channel.
Oh, this is a great concert. Yeah, this is awesome.
Imagine if Kurt Cobain came out at Nirvana shows and instead of everybody with headbanging, everybody had long hair, everyone was headbanging and jumping through the crowd, everyone had energy. Yeah, everyone's like mosh pit, jumping into each other. Imagine instead of that, at a Nirvana concert, everyone just pulled their phone out and was like,
this is great. This is a great concert. Yeah, I'm recording this. I'm putting it on my Twitter to all my Twitter friends. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Oh, internet has me. Cyberspace. Cyberspace.
Imagine if that Nirvana, Kurt Cobain would not even have been famous. Like, he would have just been some guy's Twitter video. I don't know. Probably would have killed himself earlier. I mean, we had a culture. We used to have a culture back in the day. So, I don't know, that's just how I feel. I just... Back to what I was saying. Culture. MTV was like... MTV was magical, man. I mean, the stuff that we had back then, even the 80s stuff, even the corny 80s stuff we had back then, was magical. Like, right now I could say, well... Boy George was a flaming homo. If that guy was gay, I would never listen to him. Or I could say MC Hammer sucked balls. But Jesus Christ, those guys are awesome compared to what we have now, which is nothing. What do we have? Justin Bieber has a song. He came out with a song 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, and he's like, we're still celebrating him. We have nothing. Miley Cyrus is running around with her butt hanging out of her, you know, farting in public. What, I don't know what pooping on stage. I don't know what she does. MTV was a magical thing. It used to be like rock. I mean, even music like rock, like grunge music. Nirvana, Stones, like when that video came out, everybody watched it. You didn't even have to like it. You watched it. Michael Jackson came on TV. You just remember that shit. You do not forget that. There was a movement. There was culture. Like, it was in the movies. It was in... People were alive still. They were still alive. They were still awake. Sort of awake. People were more conscious. You know, in the early 90s, people had more of a... They were still awake. Now everyone's asleep. Everyone's dead. You know? Oh, the Clippers managers. This is people's life now. This is what they celebrate. The Clippers owner, his baby mama, ratted him out because he said something sort of racist, and then we talk about that for like 5 weeks. We obsess over the stupidest stuff. Our culture is like, it's just like, Oh my God, blah 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. That's our culture. It's taking over. Sucks. We used to have rock and roll, man. We used to have rock. We used to have rock bands. That was the culture. Rock. Rock and roll. Yeah, man. Grunge. Yeah. Even if it was Nirvana, even if it was a shitty band, it was like everybody in the video was like long-haired dudes jamming out. Everyone was, people got into it. There's a movement behind it. Behind, you know, Public Enemy, like there was a movement behind Tupac. There was a movement like behind rap. There was a movement, even if it didn't mean nothing. There was a movement behind it. The culture. They had the people behind it, the culture behind it. Now it's like nothing. What is it? Everybody wants to be a YouTube star. Nobody wants to like do. Nobody wants to become. The people don't want to have a movement. They don't want to be together no more. Togetherness. Everybody just wants to be a YouTube star.
Or this is me in my bathroom taking a shit, and I'm gonna talk about George Bush.